Colombia is a beautiful country. It is a land of many people and many places. It sits in the top corner of South America. If you look at a map, you will see it there. The Pacific Ocean is on one side. The Caribbean Sea is on the other. This gives Colombia two amazing coastlines. The country has tall mountains called the Andes. It has green rainforests like the Amazon. It also has wide, open plains. This is a country where you can find almost every kind of nature. The mix of places makes life in Colombia very special and full of variety. The country shares borders with 5 other nations. To the east are Venezuela, Brazil. To the south is Peru, Ecuador. To the northwest is Panama. This location makes Colombia a gateway to South America. For a very long time, people and goods have moved through this land. It is a place of connection between North and South America. The name of Colombia is very special. It comes from a famous explorer. His name was Christopher Columbus. He was the man who sailed from Europe to the Americas in 1492. It is interesting because Christopher Columbus never actually set foot in the land we now call Colombia. He sailed near the coast but did not land there. Even so, his name became very important for the region. Many people in South America saw him as the person who started the connection between the old world of Europe and the new world of the Americas. So why was the country named after him? The idea came from a great leader. His name was Simón Bolívar. He was a hero who fought for independence from Spain. In the early 1800s, Bolívar had a big dream. He wanted to create a large, unified nation in South America. This new nation would be free from Spanish rule. He thought it was right to name this great new country after the man who first brought Europeans to the continent. It was a way to honor the beginning of this new chapter in history, even with all its problems. In 1819, the dream became real for a time. A huge country was formed. It was called Gran Colombia, which means Great Colombia. Long before the Spanish ships arrived, many different groups of people lived in Colombia. These were the first peoples, the indigenous communities. They had been living on this land for thousands of years. They built amazing societies. They knew the land very well. They knew how to grow food in the mountains. They knew how to grow food in the jungles. They had their own governments. They had their own beliefs. They had their own special ways of life. These groups were not all the same. There were many different cultures spread across the diverse landscapes of the country. One of the most famous groups was the Muisca. The Muisca people lived in the cool highlands of the central Andes Mountains. This is where the city of Bogotá is today. They were excellent farmers. They grew corn, potatoes, quinoa. They were also skilled craftspeople. They made beautiful things from gold. The famous legend of El Dorado, the city of gold, comes from a Muisca ceremony. This story shows how important gold was to their culture and rituals. They were not just artists, they were also traders. They had a complex society. Another important group is the Wayuu people. They live in the dry Guajira Peninsula in the far north of Colombia. Their land is very different from the Muisca's green mountains. It is a desert by the sea. The Wayuu people have adapted to this hard environment. They are known for being strong and independent. They are famous for their colorful woven bags, called mochilas. These bags are more than just useful items. They tell stories through their patterns and colors. The Wayuu have kept their language and traditions alive for centuries. There were many other indigenous groups too, like the Tairona in the Sierra Nevada mountains and the Quimbaya in the Coffee region. The Tairona built incredible stone cities and terraces, some of which can still be visited today. The Quimbaya were also masters of goldwork, creating some of the most beautiful pre-Columbian art. These first peoples had deep connections to nature. They saw the rivers, the mountains, the animals as sacred. Their stories and knowledge are a vital part of Colombia's history and are still present in the country today. The main language spoken in Colombia is Spanish. Almost everyone in the country speaks it. The Spanish spoken in Colombia is known for being very clear. Some people say it is one of the easiest types of Spanish to understand. This is especially true in cities like Bogota, but accents change across regions. People on the coast have a faster, more musical accent. People in the Andes might speak more slowly and formally. Spanish connects big cities. Spanish connects small villages. But Spanish is not the only language you will hear. There are also many indigenous languages. About 65 of these languages are still spoken today. They are spoken by the different indigenous groups across the country. These languages are a very important part of Colombia's heritage. They hold ancient knowledge about nature, medicine, and spirituality. There are also two Creole languages spoken by Afro-Colombian communities on the islands of San Andrés and Providencia. San Andrés, Providencia. These languages mix African words, English words, and Spanish words. Colombian culture is a wonderful mix of different traditions. Music and dance are at the heart of daily life. Cumbia is a famous style of music and dance that started on the Caribbean coast. It mixes indigenous, African, and Spanish rhythms. Indigenous rhythms, African rhythms, Spanish rhythms. Salsa is also incredibly popular, especially in the city of Cali, which is known as the world capital of salsa. People love to get together with family and friends to dance and listen to music. Food is another big part of the culture. Each region has its own special dishes, like the hearty bandeja paisa or the warm ajiaco soup. Daily life for Colombians is centered around family. Families are often large and close. Grandparents, parents, and children often live together or very near each other. Sundays are an important day for families to gather, share a big meal, and spend time together. People are generally very friendly and welcoming to visitors. They are proud of their country and love to share its beauty with others. Whether it is enjoying a cup of tinto, a small black coffee with a friend, or celebrating a local festival, life in Colombia is full of warmth and community spirit. Colombia is a country made of many different people. This mix of people is called ethnic diversity. The largest group is the Mestizo population. Mestizo people have a mix of indigenous and European ancestors. Their families have roots in the original peoples of the land and the Spanish who arrived centuries ago. This group represents a large part of Colombia's national identity. Their culture is a blend of both worlds. They live in bustling cities. They live in the quiet countryside. They are the face of modern Colombia for many. Another very important group is the Afro-Colombian population. Their ancestors came from Africa. They were brought to Colombia as enslaved people during the colonial period. They were forced to work in mines. They were forced to work on plantations, especially along the coasts. Today, Afro-Colombian communities have a very strong and vibrant culture. Curulao, champeta. Their influence shows in food. Their influence shows in language. Their influence shows in spirit. In the Caribbean coastal regions, in the Pacific coastal regions, they have fought hard for their rights and recognition. The indigenous peoples are the original inhabitants of Colombia. There are over 100 different indigenous groups. They make up a smaller part of the population, but their cultural importance is huge. Wayuu, Arhuaco, Kogi. They have worked to protect ancient traditions. They have worked to protect languages. They have worked to protect their lands. They hold a deep spiritual connection to nature. They teach living in harmony with the earth. Their beautiful crafts are admired all over the world. Woven bags, pottery. There is also a group of white Colombians. Their ancestors came mainly from Spain during the colonial era. Some also have ancestors from Italy, Germany, France. They have influenced the country's politics. They have influenced business. They have influenced the arts. Finally, there are smaller groups of immigrants. For example, a community with roots in the Middle East often called Turcos. Each of these groups adds its own thread to the rich fabric of Colombian society, creating a nation that is truly diverse. Colombia is a large country. Its total area is over 1.1 million square kilometers. To help you imagine this, It is about the same size as France and Spain put together. France, Spain. It is a big space with a lot of different kinds of land. This large size means that there is great variety in the country's geography. You can travel for hours and see the landscape change completely. You can go from a hot, humid coastline up to a cold, windy mountain peak. This size allows for many different ways of life to exist all within one nation. The population of Colombia is also quite large. As of today, in late 2025, there are more than 52 million people living in the country. This makes it one of the most populous countries in South America. Most of these people live in the cities. The capital, Bogotá, is a huge city with around 8 million residents. Other big cities like Medellin and Cali are also home to millions of people. Medellin, Cali. The mountainous Andean region is where the majority of the population is concentrated. The vast eastern plains and the Amazon rainforest are much more sparsely populated. This large population is young and full of energy. A big part of the population is under the age of 30. This youthful energy can be felt in the cities, with their lively culture, new businesses, and active nightlife. Lively culture, new businesses, active nightlife. It also presents a challenge for the country. The government and society need to make sure there are enough jobs and good education for all these young people. Their future will shape the future of Colombia. The country is divided into 32 departments, which are like states. Each department has its own capital city and its own local government. These departments often have very distinct identities. Someone from the department of Antioquia, where Medellin is, might feel very different from someone from the department of Valle del Cauca, where Cali is. Antioquia, Medellin. Valle del Cauca, Cali. These regional identities are very strong. People are proud of their local food, their local accent, and their local traditions. Local food, local accent, local traditions. This makes Colombia feel like a country of many smaller countries, all united under one flag. The story of modern Colombia has been shaped by its colonial past. When the Spanish arrived in the 1500s, everything changed. They came looking for gold. They came looking for other riches. They conquered the indigenous groups and took their land. This was a time of great violence and suffering. The Spanish forced the indigenous people to work for them in mines. The Spanish forced the indigenous people to work for them on farms. Many died from diseases that the Europeans brought with them. The Spanish also brought enslaved people from Africa to do hard labor. This colonial rule lasted for about 300 years. It created a very unequal society. After gaining independence from Spain, Colombia faced many new problems. The 19th and 20th centuries were filled with conflict. Different political groups fought for power. This led to long periods of civil war. In more recent times, the country suffered from a long and painful internal conflict. It involved the government. It involved guerrilla groups. It involved paramilitary forces. This violence was often funded by the drug trade. Many people were forced to leave their homes in the countryside and move to the cities. This difficult period left deep scars on the nation and its people. Despite this hard history, the people of Colombia are incredibly resilient. They have found many ways to cope and move forward. Communities work together to rebuild their towns and their lives. They create social programs to help victims of the conflict. Art and music have become powerful tools for healing and expressing hope. Many people and organizations are working hard to build a lasting peace. They are trying to solve the old problems of inequality. They are trying to solve the lack of opportunity. The spirit of the Colombian people is strong. They do not give up easily. Today, Colombia is looking toward a brighter future. The economy is growing. Many people work in agriculture, growing world-famous coffee. Many people work in agriculture, growing beautiful flowers. Many people work in agriculture, growing sweet bananas. Mining is an important industry. Oil is an important industry. A new and growing area is tourism. More and more people from around the world are coming to see Colombia's amazing landscapes and experience its warm culture. There is still much work to do to achieve true peace and equality for all, but with its rich culture, but with its resilient people, but with its incredible natural beauty, Colombia is a country full of promise and hope for a better tomorrow.